Hey there guys, welcome to my class Python for Beginners. This is lecture number 9 and today we'll talk about string formatting and we'll cover the concept of lists in Python, and we'll do it in two parts. Part 1 is going to be covered in this lecture and another part in the next lecture. So string formatting is the most concise and powerful way to format a string in Python. So the way we do it is to use the string formatting operator or the percentage sign together with Python's string formatting operation. To see how this works, let's start with a few examples. So launch your Python shell. Okay, now we write something like his name is %s full stop, uncode the code, put a percentage sign and give the string Arthur. His name is Arthur. Magical, isn't it? Another example. Let's say I put my name Amit and age is 23, which is actually true. I am 23 years old. So now I say I am %s and I am %t years old. You can probably guess what I'm going to write now. I'll put a percentage sign. In brackets I'm going to write name, age. Hit enter. I'm Amit and I'm 23 years old, and so on. So the syntax for string formatting looks like you have in quotes a format followed by a percentage sign and values. This thing. Okay. It begins with a format which contains a sequence of characters and conversion specifications. Conversion specifications start with the percentage operator. Following the format string is a single percentage and then a sequence of values, one per conversion specification, separated by commas and enclosed in parentheses. The parentheses are optional if there is only one single value. So in the first example above, there is a single conversion specification, the %s, which indicates a string. The single value Arthur maps to it and is not enclosed in parentheses. In the second example, name has a string value which is Amit and age has an integer value which is 23. These map to two conversion specifications, %s and %t. The d in the second conversion specification indicates that the value is a decimal integer. Okay. So guys, let's move on to lists for now. So what is a list? A list is an ordered set of values where each value is identified by an index. So think of a list as your grocery list. In your grocery list, you have 10 different items. Each item is identified by a serial number. That serial number is called an index here. The values that make up a list are called its elements. Lists are similar to strings, which are ordered sets of characters, except that the elements of a list can have any type. Lists and strings and other things that behave like ordered sets are called sequences. So a list is a sequence, a string is also a sequence. For example, let's declare a list. Let's declare a list of 3 integers, 1, 2 and 3. Now you say printf. This is the list of 3 items, 1, 2 and 3. List can have any type of elements. So we can have a list that says hello, which has the elements hello, the element number 1, the element floating point number 2.0. Now I print L and it's the same list. Lists can also have other lists at its elements. For example, now let's say list L is the first element of the list is a string hello, second is a floating point number 2.0, the third is a integer 4, the fourth is a list again of 2 elements which are 1 and 5. Now you print L and L is this. Now the elements of a list can be accessed using index. Similar to strings, the indexing starts from 0 to the last element of the string of the list in this case. So for the list above, this list L, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 elements, so indexing will go from 0 to 3. So L0 is hello, whereas L3 is 1, 5 is the list, and L4 should be a error, list index out of range. Similar to strings, we have a length operator here. If we say length of L, it says 4, but length of L3 is 2, because L3 is the list 1, 5 with 2 elements and the length is 2. Okay, so let's take, unlike strings, lists are actually mutable. So L0 initially is hello, we can change it to L0 equals world. So now if we print L is world and the rest of the elements are the same. So let's take a look at how you can make use of the length operator and how you can iterate over the elements of the list and things like that. So for element in list, not list, for element in L, you say you want to print the element. Similar to last time, the variable element is just a placeholder for the current term in L. And what does this do? This prints out the 4 elements of your list. You can also iterate in a list using indexing and the while loop. For example, let's say I is equal to 0 and num is equal to the length of L. Okay, now while I is less than num, you say you want to print Li. Li is the ith element of the list, starting from 0, and you do I plus equals to 1. This is the same thing. Now using the in operator, you can check the membership of a list. For example, the word in L is true, but hello in L is false, because these elements either exist on a list or they do not exist in a list. Now let's look at some operations on the list. For example, we have the list A, which is equal to which has the numbers 1, 2 and 3. The list B has numbers 4, 5 and 6. I missed the 6 here, guys. Okay, 4, 5 and 6. Now the list, we want a new list C, which is equal to A plus B. The concatenation, the plus operator concatenates the list. C is A plus B. So if you try to print C, C is a concatenation of A and B. Similarly, the star operator repeats a list a given number of times. So the list having the elements 1, 2, 3, and if you use the star operator 2 times, it will give 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 as the new list with the elements of the old list with 2 copies of the original list concatenated with each other. Okay, so the last topic for today is the range function. So lists that contain consecutive integers are common, so Python provides a simple way to create them. So if we write range 1 to 5, this will give you a list of the elements 1 to 5 including the first but excluding the last one. So range n to m will give you a list of numbers from n to m minus 1. So the range function takes 2 arguments and returns a list that contains all the integers from the first to the second, including the first but not the second. There are 2 other forms of range. With a single argument, it creates a list that starts at 0. So you can say range 5, and this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If there is a third argument, it specifies the space between successive values, which is called the step size. For example, let's say you want a range of numbers from 1 to 10 with a step size of 2. So now this gives you 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9, because the step here from 1 to 3 is 2, from 3 to 5 is again 2, from 5 to 7 is 2, from 7 to 9 is 2. If the step size is negative, then start must be greater than stop. So it's a backward counting. For example, you say range, I want to start from 20, I want to go down to 4, and the step size is minus 5. And you get 20, 15, 10, 5. But if you say, let's see what happens if you give a positive step size in this case, 24 and 5. Gives you an empty list, because you can't actually go down from 20 to 4 with a positive step size. So otherwise, so in this case you get an empty list. So guys, this is all I wanted to cover in today's lecture, and we'll tackle lists in greater depth in our next class. So hang on, keep up the hard work. I know you're working really hard with me. I'm enjoying giving this class as much as, and I hope you're enjoying as much as I am teaching this class. Hope to see you around next time. Keep up the good work.